Over the next 30 minutes, I'm going to teach you my 3-step method for organizing your wardrobe and taking it from something that may be a little bit of a mess right now. I'm going to turn it into a spacious, neat, beautiful system that you can be proud of. If this is your first time watching me, I'm Tor. I help millions of people every year to organize their clothes, wardrobes, through video, articles, emails, courses, you name it. Alright, so the first step in this process is that we need to define our personal style. Now, what on earth do you mean by this, Tor? Well, it's quite simple, really. What I want you to do is to kind of find out what type of clothes that you generally wear. This is going to make it a lot easier later in this process when we start organizing your actual wardrobe. But for now, I got some really cool tricks for you to figure out your personal style really quick and easy. What I want you to do here is grab your trusty old cracked to pieces iPhone here, and I want you to look through all the photos of you over the last couple of years. So if you're anything like me, I'm sure you take photos of everything, you know, your food, yourself, anything. And if you don't take a lot of photos of yourself, I'm sure that your friends and family does. So if you don't have a lot of photos of yourself on your phone, go ahead and pull some in from your friends and family. Say, hey, I'm trying to figure out my style. I need lots of photos of myself, preferably clothed, of course. So yeah, pull in all these photos. And what I want you to do next is to look through the photos and look for similarities. You know, am I always wearing a black shirt like this random Norwegian dude in the video? Oh, okay, then that's probably one part of my style. So once you find these photos where like that repeats over and over again, I want you to put these photos into a separate album. Now, it's probably more than enough looking through, like, let's say the last 2 years of photos of yourself. And one thing to keep in mind though is don't look for like photos where you just think like, oh, I just finished a diet or I'm going to the gym a lot this time. I look really good here. No, look for photos that's like where your clothes look good, clothes that goes over and over again, clothes you feel very comfortable in. Those are going to make up the core of your personal style. So go ahead and put all of them into an album. When I did this, I found out that I have about 25 photos here. So as you can see here, I like to wear a lot of monochrome colors and tons of monochrome colors actually. And I like to wear hoodies, clearly some bathing suit photos as well. Blacks, long sleeved shirts. Yeah, you get the point. Just look through them, add the photos to your album. Now, once you've added all the photos to your album, I want you to take your trusty notepad here or a pen. You can do it on your phone if you want as well. And I want you to write down what you say. Okay, this lots of black t-shirts, blue jeans. Write down what you usually wear. If you wear polka dot sweaters a lot, okay, write that down. Maybe I have one polka dot sweater. Okay, I have 5 brown t-shirts. You write it down. We're gonna work more through this coming up here now. So before we move on here, I want to talk a little bit about capsule wardrobes, as it will play kind of an important part here in this process. So what on earth is a capsule wardrobe? Well, if you imagine a set amount of clothes and you can pretty much interchangeably wear them. So for example, if you wear a white shirt, you can easily change out your blue pants with like gray pants, slacks, something, and it will still look good. Now it goes the other way too. You want these slacks, blue jeans or gray jeans to be able to be interchanged with the top as well. For example, if you have a white t-shirt, you have black t-shirt, all these should match together. This way you can keep a smaller amount of clothes and they will still match together very easily. Now I want to use these principles as we build your wardrobe and organize it, because it makes it so much easier to organize. It makes it so much easier when you wake up in the morning. It makes it easier to have a smaller amount of clothes should you wish to get rid of some of them. It's just overall a great option. Now, with that in mind, I want us to kind of determine what our minimum amount of clothes to wear will be. Now, don't worry, I'm not going to make you get rid of the rest of your clothes. I just want to set like a baseline so we know how many clothes of each type we should at least keep in our primary wardrobe once we start organizing here. This really depends on how often you do laundry and your personal habits. So for example, if you do laundry every week, that means you will need 1 set of clothes for every day of the week, which will equate up to 7. If you do exercise like 3 times a week, maybe you need 3 more sets there. and that makes for a total of 10 underwear, 10 undershirts, maybe 4 pants. You get the point. I want you to write these numbers down, preferably right under like the personal style notes, so that you can see, for example, if you know that you wear mostly black t-shirts again as the example, then you write, for example, over that, okay, I need 10 of these t-shirts in that case. Now, why are we doing this? Well, we're going to kind of use these numbers as like the very bare minimum baseline when we organize our wardrobe. We'll see that coming up here. I know this is kind of a hassle. In the 14-day wardrobe organizing challenge, I actually have cheat sheets and calculators that will do all this for you. Just keep that in mind. That can maybe make things a little easier, but it should be fine to just type it out here as well. All right, so step number 2 here in the wardrobe organizing process. So what we're going to do now is that we're going to do what I like to call the 4-pile purge. Now, what is this? It's pretty much an advanced method of organizing and purging out some of our old clothes. It's called the 4-pile purge because we're going to split our working area into 4 piles here. You can do this on your bed, on the floor if it's clean. I'm going to do it on a mini coffee table here. You can do this all at once. You can pull out all your clothes if you have a couple of hours. If you just have a little bit of time every day, maybe you do your tops today or bottoms tomorrow, then you can do your outerwear and like accessory on the 3rd day. I recommend that you start with something simple like your underwear and socks. So maybe you do your bottoms today. Why underwear and socks? Well, because they're pretty much, you don't hold a lot of sentimental value to them usually, unless you have pineapple boxer briefs, which is pretty cool. But for example, a sweater, you will hold a lot more sentimental value to it. So it's much easier to ease in with these simple garments. So what we're going to do here is that I am going to take the table here and we're going to split it into 4 piles. So we have 1 pile for keep, 1 pile for store, 1 pile for donate/sell, and then lastly we have 1 pile that's simply trash. So the way that we do this is that we go through each of the stages, right, until we find a suitable spot for it. If we make it to the end, it's trash, obviously. So this is a winter undershirt, and now it's actually winter here in Norway, so this will be something I put in the keep pile. Now everything that goes in the keep pile we will organize and put back into our wardrobe. Now the next pile that we have here is going to be the storage pile. So for example, now that I'm looking through my clothes here and a shirt turned up, but it's the middle of the winter, so I don't really want to put it in my keep pile because I won't be wearing it every day. Like it's not the season for it. So what I'm going to do instead is that I'm going to move on to the next pile here, which is the store pile, and we're going to store this until the season is right, or we can place it somewhere that's a little less accessible than the clothes that we actually need to pull out and wear every day. Unless, of course, you are some weirdo that wears shorts in the middle of winter, then cool, put it back in the keep pile. Moving on here. Here we have some boxer briefs, but this one looks kind of like ripped. It's kind of old. I don't really want to put it in the keep pile then. I think it's seen its best days. Obviously, I don't see any reason to store boxer shorts. Can I donate this? Well, no, because it would not be natural to donate boxer briefs, so that will go directly into the trash pile here, which will be number 4. And we kind of repeat the same process with the rest of our clothes. Here we have a nice Nike t-shirt, but it's too small for me, so I won't be putting it in the keep pile or in the store pile. This one will be more suitable for donations to somebody else. If it was in a little nicer condition, maybe we could sell it to some consignment, make some little bit of coin from it. But no, same goes with this one. It's not season for it. Okay, then maybe we put it in the donation pile. But in reality, I know that I'm not wearing this like on a regular. And I usually put a rule that if I don't wear something for a year, then I cannot keep it. So I'm going to put this in the donate pile as well. Also same here with this wool sweater donate pile. Now there is a caveat to this, obviously, and that goes around formal clothes, sentimental clothes. Now, when you clean out your wardrobe and you look through these clothes, usually you will find that you have something like, for example, say a tuxedo or maybe very formal dress that it's not something that you want to toss out, but it's not really something that you want to keep like with your everyday clothes either. So what I will do is that I will put them in the store pile, and we will work through that and fix some storage solutions for that so we can pull it out when we need it. Same thing goes for like sentimental clothes. So I have some t-shirts with some cool logos that I'm like, this doesn't fit me, it's too old, but it holds some sentimental value to me, so I don't want to toss it out. So what I instead do is that I put it in the store pile, and I'm going to store it very inconveniently so that I don't have easy access to it. But since it is something sentimental to me and I maybe want to look at it sometimes every year or something, I will have it accessible. Now the same thing goes for like extra blankets, extra bedding, like duvets, duvet covers, all like this. Usually I find that I can put them in the storage pile because you don't need very general access to it. Maybe you use it every 3 weeks, every month, whenever you change the duvets. Depends a little bit on how cleanly you are, I guess. So I want you to go through this process here as well. It's very easy to do it once you get the hang of it. It can be a little bit tricky in the beginning. Obviously, if you're not comfortable putting stuff in a toss or donut pile, move it up to the storage pile, and maybe next time you feel more confident to toss out some stuff. But I would kind of encourage you to try to toss it out now if you can, because I can with pretty high certainty say that most of this stuff you will not miss it. It will feel a little bit weird to throw out clothes in the beginning, but realistically, if you're not wearing it anymore, it's just going to take up extra space in your wardrobe. And now that you have your personal style as well, it should be easier for you to kind of determine where you should put the clothes. So you, in the last step, we wrote down like what type of clothes that we usually wear. We wrote down like the bare minimum that we need to keep in our wardrobe between each wash. Probably keep a lot more than that, but you get the point. So if there is something that's no longer like, it doesn't suit your wardrobe, for example, this thing right here, it kind of suits my wardrobe, but I know that it's not my style, so realistically I'm not going to wear it again. So that makes me very comfortable donating this to somebody that might need it instead of it just taking up space in my closet. So once you've done this, take the two piles, the keep and the store pile, and kind of put them to the side, because we will be working through these in the third step here of this process. For these last two piles here, which is donate and toss, obviously toss pile, it's very easy, because either you take some of them, for example, if you have a t-shirt, cotton t-shirt, and you need some rags, excellent, take out a rag, but just to take it out if you actually use it for something. If you make like sock puppets, maybe an old sock will do, but generally this should be trash, and you should feel very confident just tossing it in straight up in the trash. Usually you can do this on trash day, put it into your garbage, you can bring it into a recycling station, let them take care of it, and just be done with it. Don't feel bad about throwing out old clothes, it's totally fine. Now for the donation pile, it's a little bit more of a hassle, because we have two options here. Either we can sell the clothes or we can donate them. Now obviously selling is kind of awesome, since we can make some money from it. And so if you have something nice, for example, you have a wool sweater that's in really nice condition. Now you want to make sure that they're not damaged, it doesn't smell bad, stain, discoloration. If it's very bad, for like worse for wear, if it's been worn out very much, then it's probably also better to just straight up toss it. But if it's in good condition and you think that it could be worth something, I recommend that you just sell it. There are a few different ways you can do that, and I talk a lot about that in the 14-day wardrobe organizing challenge. But like in short, consignment shops, either online or offline, are great options. You can also list it online on places like Facebook Marketplace, eBay, Craigslist. Opportunities are endless. You can hold a garage sale if you want to. And I think it's a great option, but obviously you want to do this with the clothes that are worth something. The ones that have kind of lower value, I recommend that you donate them. always somebody who's going to need them if they are in good condition. Again, if they're in bad condition, don't donate clothes that are bad, smelly, holes. You just take the nice ones that you don't want to sell and donate them. I know for a fact in places like America, which I know most of you viewers are from, it's very easy to donate clothes. You can just Google it, donate clothes, and get a list of options. There are even some of them that will literally come to your door and pick up the donations. Otherwise, bring it in to somewhere. Here in Norway, we have a bunch of these like boxes that you can donate clothes to. Wash the clothes, make sure they're dry, put them in a trash bag or something, make sure it's properly sealed, because sometimes these clothes lay there for a while, and if they lay there for a while and they start to get moldy or just smell bad and they get ruined if they're not sealed properly. So make sure you take care of them nicely, fold them up nicely, and give them away to the donation place. Now, before we move on to the third step, which will be organizing the keep and the store pile, I wanted to take this time to announce something super excited, if you don't mind here. I have created a brand new system for you called the 14-day wardrobe organizing challenge, where essentially we break these 3 steps into daily tasks, where we take this whole process that we're learning today and we're splitting it into 14 days with daily tasks, daily videos, go much more in that. And we can take your wardrobe from whatever state it is in now. If it's a complete mess, totally fine, we can take care of it. If it's reasonably organized, also cool. You're gonna be able to see so much benefit from this. You're gonna learn everything about organizing your clothes. We're going to dive super deep into finding your style. We're going to dive a lot deeper into the purging process. I have cheat sheets for all of this. We have cheat sheets for finding your style, a cheat sheet for the 4-pile purge. I have a calculator that's going to help you determine exactly what the baseline of your clothes is. I have cheat sheets for selling clothes online. But best of all, I have bundled in the fast file folding cheat sheet into the price of the admission of the course. If you know anything about fast file folding course, it's the most premium folding guide probably in the world. You have all clothes listed with step-by-step instruction of how to fold them. If you still have problems, there is also video that you can just tap and you get taken to a specific video on that particular garment with step-by-step instruction on how to fold it in video as well. It's very hard to fail through this challenge. You get everything, you get handheld through the entire process along with me. I'm super excited about the nonsense. You have no idea. I've been working on this for a month. I had wardrobe standing here in my living room and I was going around it every day, just working. Oh. Yeah, so if you ever wanted to get your wardrobe organized, now is the chance. You can go to organizing.tv/start and get started. 14 days, every day you get new video, you get cheat sheets. You can contact me if there is anything. This is going to work for anyone. If you're a messy person, if you're a clean person, if you live out of a dresser, if you have a big wardrobe, even a walk-in closet, we're going to take care of it. You're going to get neatly organized wardrobe once and for all. And for a very reasonable price, if I do say so myself. So check that out now. Go to organizing.tv/start. Or down below is also linked. Check it out. Alright, so we're finally ready to start talking about step 3 here, and that's going to be the organizing. This is the best part. I am excited about it. So let's get your keep and storage pile and get to work. I want to start working on the keep pile first, as I think that's the most fun, to be honest. Just being up front there. So I'm going to teach you how to file fold. File folding essentially ends up looking like this. This is all my socks. And I can show you here. Here is also my t-shirts. As you can see, they're kind of piled in a style that it's very easy to pick them out. Now, one thing you need to note if you're going to file is that the fold will need some sort of support like this. Boxes, anything works really. I have used in the past ice cream boxes. I've used the tray that keeps the utensils apart from each other. See this one? This is just a cheap little box for like a couple of cents. This holds the socks perfectly. There's so many options out there. Cardboard also works totally fine, but I do like plastic more, or like a specialty box made for keeping clothes. But anyway, let's get into the file folding here. This is going to be so much fun. So I have the file folding book up here, but I have this so deep in my head that I don't think I need it. But yeah, it's a good one to have at hand if you're going to start file folding. How are we going to do this? Well, I'm going to show you how to file fold all your clothes, and then we're going to go ahead and we're going to install them somewhere cool. So I figure we start with the socks, move on to the bigger ones after that. Take one socks and I place it so that you have the heel facing downward, so not to the side. It works as well, but it's easier to do the fold if you make the heel face downward like this. Now once you've done that, we can take the other sock and we put it on top of the first one, so directly on top. And from here, it's as simple splitting the sock in two down the middle here, folding it, toes all the way up to the top like this. Now I'm just going to turn it around so it's a little bit easier for me. And now I'm going to split it in half again, and I'm folding it over one more time like so. You see this nice little fold? This is so fast to do, and you can keep it standing up like this. If it's having trouble standing like this, you can press it a little bit to the sides and down, like so. Voila, you have beautiful folded socks, and it's so easy. This is good for your socks, doesn't hurt them at all, and it's ready to go into something like a box like this. As you can see, it's so easy to pick them out as well when they're stacked like this. So this one is actually full, but that's besides the point there. Now you can do this for all types of underwear as well. In the folding cheat sheet there is a lot of different ones, and if you're not ready to purchase the 14-day wardrobe organizing challenge quite yet, maybe you're a little bit low on funds, I do have a bunch of folding information around this channel. This channel is basically based around folding clothes, organizing, some laundry and cleaning stuff too. But yeah, you can definitely find a lot. I have a playlist on the channel that you can check out about folding clothes as well. So if you're into that, maybe you can consider subscribing. You know, I'd appreciate to have you on board the team. And yeah, anyway, let's get into folding these boxer briefs with pineapples on them. So I'm just going to place them here with front facing up like this, and I'm going to split them into 3 parts from side to side like this. Then I'm going to take one side, fold it over 1/3 of the way, like so, and we repeat the process from the other side, fold it over so it entirely overlaps the first side. Now, for boxers like these ones, usually boxer briefs as well, you may end up with an issue where kind of one of the sides kind of flares a bit out. This can also happen with other types of clothes like shirts, even pants in some circumstances. And what you can just do here is just flip it back under like this, or you can leave it. It looks a bit better if you flip it under like that. So from here, I'm going to split it in 3, but this time from top to bottom. And I am starting from the waistband, and I'm folding it down 1/3 of the way like this, and then one more time over like this, so that it exactly meets the bottom. Now from here you probably know what's happening. I'm going to lift it up like this, and if it decides that it's going to be difficult and doesn't want to stand on its own, again what we can do is kind of press it in at the top and downwards at the bottom, and it should stand on its own totally fine. Of course, once it gets support of more items next to it and you put them in a box like the ones I had here, it's going to gain a lot more support as well. Next, I'm going to show you on shorts. So this fold is essentially the same for pants as well, but you know, I'm sitting here with this mini coffee table to kind of demonstrate for you guys. So I'm just going to show you on shorts because I figure it's a little bit easier. So again, we're starting with shorts facing up like this, and then we can fold them over in half from side to side. So not in thirds this time, because it's going to leave ugly wrinkles down the pant legs of the shorts. So once we made it to this point, I'm just going to turn it around here to the side so you can see easier. Split it into 3 parts again, like we did with the boxer briefs. It's pretty much the same method from here. So I'm going to start by folding it down from the top 1/3 of the way first. So. And then we repeat the process one more time, like so. Now, of course, you can store them like this too, but it's not as easy to find what you're looking for when they're laying down, because you're gonna have to dig through everything, each layer. So if you just place them standing up instead, so easy to just browse to them quickly, get what you need, and you're good to go. Just stand them up, same as with the shorts. Ta-da! Isn't this fun? Once you get into it, it's actually a lot of fun to fold clothes. Like surprisingly fun to fold clothes. So again, let me show you with a shirt here. Kind of my winter undershirts. I kind of wish I was wearing it actually. It's kind of cold here in Norway right now. So again, placing it down with the front side facing up. Now I'm going to fold in arms like this, all the way over to the other side. If you have t-shirts for these ones, then you just fold them in as well. Totally same principle. One thing you want though is to kind of avoid any creases, as that makes this more difficult to fold, as well as, now this is an undershirt so it doesn't matter so much, but it can leave some creases as well. So from here, you probably guessed it, we're going to split it into 3 parts again. So from side to side in 3, folding over one side first, like this, and then completely overlap with the other side like this. And from here, I'm just going to turn it around again. It's a little bit easier for me to work with it. Now, from here, we do have 2 options. Essentially, what we can do is split it in 3, and we can fold it down like this, and it's ready to stand up. Now, this one is made from wool. It's not as stiff in the fabric as something like cotton is. So what I'm going to do is that for this one in particular is just fold it in half first, and then I'm going to fold it over one more time like this. And it kind of creates the same shape that you can stand up. Since it's a little bit more flimsy, you know, I like the thicker one, so it has more support in the side. But now it's getting very advanced. You can check out a bunch of these videos on my channel if you want to learn more about the different folds. I realized that there are probably a lot of questions that comes up here, and for me it's often similar ones. So what I figured I'd like to do is answer some of the most common ones so that you can get the answers in case some questions has appeared as you've been watching through this video. I know it's a lot, it's a big video. I hope you're enjoying it so far. First question, how do you deal with seasonal clothes? Well, this is a really good one actually, and one that I would like to dive a little bit deeper into. So it depends a little bit on how many seasons you have. Like here in Norway, we have 4 seasons. We have spring, summer, fall, and winter. So what I like to do is that at the start of each season, I will go into my wardrobe and I will look for clothes that I don't need that season. For example, you saw I pulled out the shorts here earlier, and now it's the middle of the winter. So what I will do with those shorts is that I will gently roll them up and I will place them into some of the storage containers. That way it's kind of out of the way, and I don't need to get annoyed by seeing it in my wardrobe during the winter months. And same goes for when it gets hotter in the weather. I will usually take my wool clothes and I will roll them gently up, and I'll just replace them with the summer clothes, right? Or the spring clothes in that instance. What I also like to do is do a lot of layering so that I can kind of multi-purpose, I guess, the clothes. So I can add, for example, if now it's the middle of the winter, so maybe I use this as an undershirt and I layer with sweater and a jacket on top of that to keep warm. Then when it gets hotter in the weather, maybe I remove the jacket and I have the sweater and the t-shirt. Summer, pop off the sweater as well, and you know, I'm good to go. Then when it gets fall again, maybe I add back the sweater, and then winter, put the jacket on as well. Now, I do have winter clothes as well, especially here in Norway. It gets really, really cold during the winter. So I have big jackets that I also compress down and put into my storage system. I try to place the large items kind of out of the way since they're so bulky and they annoy me. But that's how I do it. I just switch it out during the seasons. So if you just have 2 seasons, for example, summer and winter, it makes it a lot easier. Then you can look through it twice a year and make some adjustments to your wardrobe. Another option is to put the clothes that are out of season kind of at the back of your closet, and then you pull the ones that is for the season to the front if you don't have any storage solutions. Next question. How long do I need each day for the challenge? So that's for the 14-day wardrobe organizing challenge, and I will tell you that I have put the challenge together so that it should be no more than half an hour a day. That is the aim of the challenge. I have done similar programs in the past where it kind of ended up with some of the days being a lot longer than some of the others, and I think that took a lot of people by kind of surprise, like, oh my, suddenly I have to do a whole hour one day and then the next day it's like 20 minutes. So this time around I think I've perfected it down to, usually it's about half an hour. Some days it's a little bit shorter. It's just simply by the length of the tasks. So yeah, about half an hour. And also, if you feel like, for example, one day you have a lot of free time, you can actually do multiple days at once then. So the next question I often get is, does this tips that you give work for women's clothes as well? Are there any differences? And to that I will say, no, there are no differences. Anyone can watch these, and I think I have gone over almost every type of clothing there is. Like, I have had some strange clothes around my house that maybe not normal for a single man to have, including baby clothes and thongs and bras and jock straps. So I have something for everyone, and I have tried to put all my teachings so that it is accessible for everyone as well. Now, there obviously will be some differences. Like, for example, women will have bras and skirts and dresses, and I have tried to address that pretty clearly in my content, especially in the challenge. So yeah, there are some small differences, but I've taken very much account for them as well. Next question is, I have a lot of clothes with many different styles to them. How do I organize them? Well, that is a really good question. So what I would usually say is try to cut down on them, first of all. I know, obvious. If you insist on keeping most of them, you can try to organize them into different styles. So for example, in this video, I've tried to show you the wonders of capsule wardrobes. So what you could do if you have multiple styles, for example, you have kind of I don't know, a biker style, and you also have a office worker style or something with suits. What you could do is that you could make 2 individual capsules, and you could try to have so that you can mix some of the clothes, but that you have 2 individual core capsules. And in your closet you would organize them so that one capsule is accessible and easily split from the other one. And obviously the clothes that would overlap would be the ones that you should place in the most easily accessible areas. Now, if you have different styles for different times of the year, that's a lot more easy then, since you can just put the clothes to storage or put them in a less accessible place if you use them more infrequently than the other type of clothes that you have. Hope that answered it. That's what I would do. Last question here. I am new to organizing. Where do I start? Well, you started in just about the perfect place, I would say. You have gotten the perfect roadmap here on how to start organizing. I know my style is a little bit different than many of the other organizing teachers, or what we should say out there, organizers. I have kind of a minimalist approach to everything, and I think that comes from me being a traveler for 10 years basically. Kind of realized that you don't need that much to be happy. Now, that's not to say that you have to take all my tips. Like, you can cut stuff if you don't like some of my teachings, but I think this system that I put together for you today, and that first you decide what style you want to have, and then you kind of organize it and cut down on the stuff that you don't need. And then lastly, this last phase here with the folding and organizing is also one of the most important ones. I would start out with file folding, and I would probably get some ice cream boxes or something that you can file the clothes into. Obviously, if you have the funds, I would strongly recommend, and I hope you will consider as well, checking out the 14-day wardrobe organizing challenge. Again, that's over at organizing.tv/start. I had a lot of fun making this video. I know it's been like a brain dump over it too. And again, if you want to check out the 14-day wardrobe organizing challenge, I'd love to have you there. Check it out, and I'll see you over there.